Hello, my name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. This was another one that I was asked, what are the dangers of working on the dark side? Are there dangers? Well, first of all, we really do have to define what we mean by the dark side. All paths are a mixture of dark and light. I don't think you can say I don't think anybody follows a totally dark path, and I don't think anybody follows a totally light one. They might think they do, but I don't think they do, personally. I don't. Mine is a pretty good mixture. What are the dangers of working on the dark side? The dangers of any kind of dark side, by which I usually mean hexing, causing harm, causing mischief. The danger with it is that it tends to be addictive. The real danger is not so much what happens to you by doing it, in a sense that, there are nasty things out there that are going to bother you. The danger is that you damage your own your aura, and you allow things to get into you that shouldn't. And I don't mean demons here. I mean that things latch onto you that cause you problems. The thing about your aura is that it tends to be magnetic. That's my belief. There will be people who will tell you differently. It's a very subjective thing. So for me, the aura is magnetic, and therefore it attracts things to us. The problem with attracting too many dark things to us, and by dark I mean things like hexing and causing mischief, is that they have a tendency to damage your aura. It's a bit like being hit by an asteroid or something. It goes and it damages the aura. It rips a hole in it. First of all, it might be a few pinpricks, and eventually they'll get bigger and bigger, and you'll get a bit of a hole. You don't want that. You want to try and keep your aura as intact as possible all your life. It's healthier that way. It acts as a kind of shield, and it is healthier for you. So that is one of the biggest dangers of working on the dark side. But I do think, you've got to be a little bit careful as to what the dark side means. If you persist in hexing people without good cause. Now, some people will take issue with this, I know, and say, you must never do it. Well, I'm not a Wiccan, I'm a witch. And there will be times, and there have been times, when I have cast a hex. But there was a couple of things you have to remember about it. Is firstly, you don't do it when you're in a raving temper. It's easier to do because the energy is there. But if you do things in a raving temper, you often make horrible mistakes. It's a little bit like when you hear someone say, "That's it, I'm never going to talk to so-and-so again." Well, you do. Of course you do. Chances are it won't be a lifelong rift. It'll be something that will get made up eventually and patched up. Now, if you had cast a hex when you were in that temper where you didn't want to speak to them ever again, you might have done a lot more harm than you'd ever intended. So that's why we don't do it until we have cooled down and thought about it. And until you have decided that it's probably the best way to go. And until you have decided that if you have got it wrong, you're going to clear up the mess. That's another one. You make a mess, you clear it up. It is addictive. If you have a temper, if you are given to bad moods, if you are particularly given to jealousy and envy, where you can't look at what other people have got without wishing you had it and they didn't, which is really where the business of the evil eye comes in. Casting the evil eye was really to cause loss and hurt, just because someone had something you didn't. For example, let's give you an example. There are two neighbours. Three neighbours. We'll have three neighbours. Make it interesting. Three neighbours. The first neighbour has a brand new car, and he's very proud of it. He's washing it all the time, and he's showing it to his other two neighbours. We'll call them Fred and Bob. And Fred looks at it and thinks, "Oh, that's lovely. I wish I had one like that. Oh, I wish I'm going to have to save up. I can't afford something like that at the moment, but you never know, maybe one day. But oh, it's lovely. Oh, I wish I had one like that." And that's fair enough. Bob, however, gets into a raving temper. Why should my neighbour have some... Oh dear, that's Homer. Why should my neighbour have a flash new car like that? Who does he think he is? I wish he didn't have one like that. I wish it was mine. And he goes out at dead of night and he slashes all 4 tyres. Now you see there's a big difference, because Fred has just looked at the car and thought, oh, that's lovely, I'd like to have that. Bob has actually gone out and damaged it. And that's the difference with walking on a dark side. That's the real start. And that's how it starts. It starts with that low-level kind of nastiness of envy, jealousy and mischief. Never underestimate mischief. Some people do it just for the hell of it. And the danger is that it gets to be a way of life. In the end, you don't do anything else. You do it to see if you can do it. You find you can. And in the end, you can't stop. That's the biggest danger of all. It's not that something's going to come out of the woodwork and throttle you. It's not that at all. The biggest danger is what you're going to do to yourself. Just my thoughts on it. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.